It is the 21st day of July 2023 and you're just in time for another edition of News Now. Well, we have so much lined up for you in our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media handles indicated at the bottom of the screen. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. It was a day of drama for Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, who now claims that officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations plan to arrest him immediately after his bail is posted. Now, according to his lawyers, there was a plot by the DCI to rearrest him once his bail is posted. His lawyers also decried the huge police presence around the courts, saying that it could be a sign of impending arrest. Babu was granted a 100,000 shillings cash bail this morning in a case where he's facing, among other, subversion charges.
I consider the following terms appropriate and reasonable. Each of the 7 accused persons is granted bond of Kenya shillings 200,000 with one surety of the same amount, with alternative cash bail of Kenya shillings 100,000 with one contact person.
Look at the second accused person. He was before you yesterday. This is what we are told. We need to file an affidavit to now show that he's injured. Look at him. I wish JV can turn and look at him. It is that serious.
What was to happen is, once the court has granted him the cash bail and bond terms, we go to the registry, we process, we pay, then he is released.
We have been chased from the registry by
just this gentleman from the registry.
I have the cash bail here.
They have not been allowed to process the cash bail, but they have whisked away Babu Owino
while still in their custody because they are not.
You can imagine somebody has been whisked, and Mr. Okachi is here. He has witnessed that. Somebody who was within the jurisdiction of the court, somebody which the court has admitted to bail, has been whisked away even without processing the bail. You can imagine where we are degenerating to. Where is the Chief Justice in this country?
It has reached a point where, and this is very sad for the media fraternity, we are seeing police officers, well known, coming to court and being allowed access wearing press jackets. And there is an accreditation for press people. So how do they gain access to the courts when they are pretending to be press people? There's already a very serious issue in terms of the administration of justice here. And
you will be getting the full report of that story and extensive details to it in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, fast-moving consumer goods have been highlighted as the most affected during protests, leading in 13 major manufacturing subsectors that have been hardest hit. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers Chair Rajan Shah says plans to triple the sector's contribution to the GDP by 2030 will be a pipe dream with the current trend. And the government should embrace dialogue before irreparable damage is done. The daily losses incurred by the business community, according to KAM, is 2.86 billion shillings.
When we see that there are areas where they are not able to move their goods around, that actually has a direct impact. And also, more so, many of the FMCG companies which are also transporting goods, the basic essentials, to the supermarkets, to the retail outlets, this has, of course, a major impact. Consumers who cannot go and buy those goods also then has a negative impact on the flow of goods and the demand erosion which happens as a result. So I would say that as far as manufacturers are concerned, it goes across all the sectors. We represent 14 sectors. Out of that, 13 are into manufacturing. And by far, all of them have, in one form or another, been negatively impacted.
So you may find, and I think we will find, a lot of our industries and manufacturers are not insured for this kind of climate and environment that we see ourselves in, which makes the loss even bigger. And these are things that as an industry and as a manufacturing sector, we need to start looking into so as to protect our manufacturers and their employees.
How do we make ourselves attractive? If the headlines is tires burning and people running up and down, any investor who's coming by will start thinking twice. So it is a competitive environment as well. Even though we have some advantages in the race and we have some position that we can't take it for granted, and it can disappear very quickly, which is why we are saying let's take care of what we have, because it's a competitive environment. There are other options. People don't always have to come here. So how do we make sure that we are making ourselves as attractive as possible? And things like the demonstrations, the lack of political consensus is not useful for what we are trying to achieve as a country.
Meanwhile, Kilifi ODM leaders have condemned the arrest of their colleagues following the arrest of Kilifi South Member of Parliament Ken Chonga and the County Assembly Speaker Teddy Mwambire. Most of the vocal leaders, led by Senator Stewart Mazayo and Malindi Member of Parliament Amina Munyanzi, have condemned the action of the police, accusing them of hunting down leaders. Now, Senate Minority Leader Stewart Mazayo has castigated the government for what he termed as high-handedness in dealing with dissenting voices. He urged the government to let Kenyans speak their minds as enshrined in the Kenyan Constitution. Outspoken Malindi Bishop Thomas Kakala, chairman of the Kilifi House of Bishops, on his part, said the government is right in stopping the protests, noting that the demonstrations have caused more pain than relief they are seeking to achieve. He has called on President William Ruto and opposition chief Raila Odinga to talk to each other in order to stop the violence.
They are so scared. Unless you are on the other side of the coin of the majority, that's why you can speak. But if you are from the opposition, it's deemed to be very dangerous to speak your mind. I've never seen this. I've been in Parliament since 2013, and it's annoying, it's disturbing, it's destroying this country.
Kila nikisikiza watu wanasema kuna haki ya kuandamana, kuna haki ya picketing, na haki ya kufanya hiki na kile, na mimi ninajua kila haki ina power limit. Ikiachwa yote hivyo, haki hiyo inakuwa upotofu. Kwa sababu wale mnaoandamana, mimi nataka kuwauliza hivi. Wakati mna barricade njia, jana niliona mahali fulani, hapa kwa polisi, lakini wanaleta matari wanachoma. Hiyo ni pamoja na haki ya maandamano. Wakati wanaoandamana wamebeba fimbo tayari na mawe. Mimi ninauliza tu kwamba hiyo ndio haki ya maandamano. Naomba serikali katika vitengo vihusikanavyo watengeneze mwongozo, si kwa ajili ya maandamano haya, lakini kwa kesho na kesho kutwa.
Austria ambassador to Kenya, Christian Fellner, has now said that they are looking to partner with Mount Kenya University in order to exploit or rather export nurses to better their health sector. During a visit to Mount Kenya University's Thika main campus, Jog Vilate, who accompanied the ambassador, says they chose Mount Kenya University because of the professionalism and experience the university boasts. They have also cited culture exchange for Kenyan students, saying it will help in strengthening relations between Kenya and Austria.
And I'm here in Kenya because we are in urgent need of healthcare workers, which we would like to bring to Austria, because we need the profession of the Kenyan healthcare workers. We need the profession of Kenya in Austria as well to establish a good relation. Because Mount Kenya University is very professional in the sector of healthcare and in the education of healthcare workers, and it fits very well to the Austrian curricula, which is a close fit. So it should be easy to get all the permissions to work in Austria and support the Austrian healthcare system permanently. It's a win-win situation for both. We are learning from the Kenyan healthcare workers who are coming to Austria. They might learn from the Austrian situation because we have a different healthcare system. We have much more elderly people to care for. So this would be an ongoing process in learning from each other to establish a good cooperation, which is, as I mentioned before, a win-win situation for both sides.
I'm doing the preparation course to be a nurse in Europe here at the Mount Kenya University. I think any young Kenyan who's interested in working in the nursing profession and would like to do it in Europe, where nurses are urgently needed, will really benefit from this program.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto has reiterated the need for the government to remain steadfast in the collection of taxes from Kenyans, as he stated that his model of governance entails development relying on finances generated by hardworking Kenyans through taxes instead of relying on debt. President Ruto, who was speaking at Our Lady Consolata Mugoiri Girls High School in Kiharu, Murang'a County, where he is on a developmental tour, also revealed that the legislators intend to review the payments made by Kenyans for the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, in a bid to harmonize their monthly deductions and benefits. Meanwhile, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua told of leaders of the Azimio la Umoja coalition for calling for mass protests, stating that the executive has been given the mandate to protect the lives and businesses of Kenyans, which they intend to uphold. Take a look.
Kataa mambo ya madeni. Nimesema hatuwezi kuendesha taifa letu kutumia madeni. Ni bidii yetu kukusanya ushuru yetu kama wa Kenya. Na ushuru inakusanywa kwa sababu hata kwa Biblia inakubaliwa kwamba nchi inaendeshwa na ushuru. Karibuni ile pesa mnalipa ya NHIF. Sasa tunaenda bunge na tunataka kubadilisha sheria na tupangilishe mfumo ili tuhakikisha kwamba sisi wote tunabeba mzigo wa kutoshana na kila mtu kwa mambo yetu ya afya. Vile niliwaeleza, ile watu wa chini zaidi tutawapunguzia gharama ya NHIF kutoka shilingi 500 mnateremusha ikuje 300 hapo. Na tunapanga saa hizi, na sisi ambao tunapata mshahara yetu iko juu kidogo, tutaongeza sisi tulipe kiwango ya juu kidogo, ndio tuhakikisha kwamba we can carry the majority of Kenyans.
Your Excellency, the situation is now for everybody to know that the only route to government is only one, the ballot box. And that brings an end to that chapter, and we ask those people now to go back to the drawing board and prepare for the next general election in 2027.
Now, from the plans of the government to improve tax collection to bolstering security at the borders of the country. Now, leaders from the Kenya-Somalia borders counties met with law enforcement officers to address the common security challenges at the counties bordering Somalia. The meeting, themed Rethinking Security Approaches, comes at a time when the borderland counties join the national security efforts to undertake development programs. As our correspondent Hashim Jimal reports, the initiative will support community engagement, ensure gender and youth representation, enhance inclusion, and build trust between the communities and the state security systems.
As the death of citizens and police officers rise due to the attacks by Al-Shabaab militants, the affected leaders convened a security meeting amidst indiscriminate attacks. The initiative has come about after the area's political leadership had a discussion on the common security concerns in the areas. In the meeting, the leaders emphasized on the need to implement human rights compliance training for security personnel to reduce violation of human rights.
We, as the leadership of the Kenya-Somalia borderline counties, can once and for all come up with sustainable long-term solutions to this insecurity concern and support the security services. Strongly convinced that this initiative will support community engagement, ensure gender and youth representation, enhance inclusion, and build trust between the communities and the state security systems.
The leaders also discussed emerging and existing border reopening issues, analyzed various conflicts drivers, and adapted on ongoing interventions. They also established future areas of collaboration and programmatic synergies.
It is important for the leadership, the political leadership, the religious leadership, and the different sectors of society to work together with the security team so that there's a common synergy in approach to this issue of insecurity. We have done that as a constituency, the MPRs, the SOGs, the regular police, and the public are working together well. And I must say, lately we've got a relief from this Al-Shabaab, and we will maintain so. So this working together is very important, and we are doing so.
The leaders have therefore recognized that, due to their proximity to Somalia, the 4 counties have faced heightened insecurity from the terror group Al-Shabaab, as the long porous border between Somalia and Kenya has facilitated the flow of arms and the group's movement with relative ease.
The 4 border counties are bordering Somalia, which is very unstable. And therefore, the infiltration of Al-Shabaab along our borderline is caused by the porous borders. We have security personnel in a number of areas along the borders. But again, you are aware that our borderline is about 700 kilometers, which cannot be comprehensively manned. And therefore, this is why we are calling upon the members of the public.
An acknowledgement the KSBC leadership group proposal calls for coordination, collaboration and building amongst all. Other than the porous border between Somalia and the bordering counties, the locals are now encouraged to do enough to expose the terrorists or harboring them. Reporting for TV47 from Wajir County, I am Hashim Jimal.
Well, thank you, Hashim Jimal, for that report. It is on that note that we'll do a short break, but don't go too far. We'll be right back with more news.
The news that matters the most is the one that hits close to home. When disasters strike, we are there to inform you. When the bullets are flying, we tell you who's shooting and why. Reporting on your victories, your health, your money, your security, your past, present, and future. We are interested in telling the stories of creativity, hard work, and resilience that you are known for.
That is our job. This is my job. My name is Victor Moyakane, and it's my honor to bring you this news this way every Thursday night on the home of Untold Stories.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Saeed, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
Siasa bila uongozi bora ni sawa na mfupa bila nyama.
Hiyo mashindano ni mashindano ya urembo ama ya kazi?
Hiyo itahakikisha kwamba kila Mkenya ako ndani ya bima ya matibabu.
Kila siku ya Jumanne kwenye kipindi cha Matukio Mtambuko. Ungana nami Paul
the county on Saturday, where he will be launching various government projects, including a water project in Sabatia sub-county, which is estimated to have costed a sum of 1.8 billion shillings. The president will be accompanied by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who hails from the county, among other leaders from the region, led by Emuhaya Member of Parliament Omboko Milemba. The leaders have vowed to rally residents behind the Kenya Kwanza government agenda.
Kesho anapokuja kutembelea sisi na kufungua maendeleo, na pia tunataka aendelee kutuletea maendeleo zaidi. Sisi tulimpigia kura sababu tunataka maendeleo, na hiyo kuanzia kesho ndio natarajia kwamba itakuwa inaongezwa kwa constituency ya Emuhaya na Luanda.
Sisi tunamrai rais, mradi huo peke yake hautatosha. Bado kuna miradi mingine ambayo tutahitaji msaada wake, na ninajua wakati atakuwa anafika hapa tutaweza kumweleza kwa kinagaubaga ya kwamba pia tuko na kiwanda chetu cha majani chai pale Mudete ambacho kinahitaji kupewa mtazamo mpya ili tuweze kusonga mbele kilimo.
Tunatarajia mambo mengi kesho. Mradi wa maji utafaidi wa kina mama. Tunatarajia tutakuwa na mambo mengi ya kumwambia rais wetu atusaidie upande wa security na mambo mengi.
Meanwhile, Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has toured Kapedo and Chesitet to inspect the reconstructions of schools destroyed by bandits. The Kenya Defence Forces deployed in the area will ensure that schools are constructed so as to act as a cohesion that will foster security in the region that have been having many years of conflict. Now, Duale was speaking while on the tour in Chesitet Primary in Tiati and Kapedo Secondary School in Turkana East, accompanied by Turkana East Member of Parliament Nicholas Tiati Member of Parliament William Kamket and Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboy said the Kenya Defence Forces are on the mission to open up the area for development, key in focus being security roads, nomadic boarding schools, water pans, and he noted the road between Chemolingot all the way to Lokicha through Kapedo will be constructed to open up the region.
Hatuwezi kubali watu kuangaisha wamama na hawa watoto, kwa sababu Kenya nyingine inaendelea, na hapa Kapedo, Tiati, Baringo yote, Samburu, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, Laikipia, lazima itakuwa kama Kenya nyingine. Na tuulizi mtu, serikali ya hayati Kenyatta ilishinda, ya Mzee Moi ikashindwa, ya Kibaki ikashindwa, ya Uhuru ikashindwa. Mimi nawahakikishia agenda kwanza ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto, sisi tutaleta usalama hapa.
Nitaleta watoto hapa. Watoto wetu wakae pamoja. Kama ile ya zamani. Wale watu rika ya kina Kamama na kina huyu walisoma hapa Kapedo wote. So tunataka kurudisha ile Kapedo ya zamani. Mambo ya boundaries waachana naye.
And that's why I was telling my brother Kamket, let's come on board so that we can start that project. We can bring peace. It is not something of a month or it's a week. If we go inside here, we talk with our warriors. The following day, they are here in Kapedo. I was talking about livestock not being brought here in the village. But now it is the kids we brought here to learn.
And I want to say that mimi na governor wa Turkana tuko pamoja kwa hali ya kupigana na mambo ya usalama. Tunataka tuishi kama jamii moja.
Now, from upholding peace and cohesion in Turkana East to a call of joining pension schemes in the country, where Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga has called on citizens to join pension schemes to start saving for their future by contributing for retirement benefits, noting that pension schemes savings are very important to beneficiaries' life when they attain retirement age. Chichi Josephine with more details.
Speaking to the media during CPF annual general meeting held in Nakuru, the county boss said pension scheme savings are very important to beneficiaries' life when they attain retirement age.
Kwa Wakenya wote, ingawaje kuna matatizo haya yote, ni vizuri tukumbuke ujana ni moshi, haudumu. Ujana ni moshi. Leo unaweza ruka ukafanya mengi, lakini itafika siku moja utakuwa ukiomba watu, jameni mnitoe kwa nyumba. Wakati huo ndio utakumbuka kumbe ningeweka pesa.
The governor complained that many Kenyans have been retiring to poverty because of low savings while in employment.
Ningetaka kuomba pia magavana wote na hasa vyama vya wafanyikazi waweze kuketi kwa pamoja ili kutatua shida hili ambalo ni madeni ambao ni ya kihistoria. Mfanyikazi anastaafu lakini anapofika CPF anakuta pesa zake haziko. Ni vizuri mjue kwamba hata kuna gavana ambaye amefanya kustaafu kwenda kuangalia pesa zake hazikupelekwa. Kwa hivyo ningetaka niwaombe ndugu zangu ambao ni magavana, chukua hatua wewe mwenyewe, kwa sababu kuna watu ambao wako huko wanaweza amua hata wewe utaumia. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri tuhakikishe tunalipa.
CPF Managing Director and CEO Jose Akili lauded the key stakeholders in pension sector County Pension Fund for their move to educate the residents of Nakuru and encourage them to take advantage of the opportunity to learn as much as possible and make informed choices on securing their retirement life.
Mwanadamu ni ajue kwamba kuna wakati wa kufanya kazi, na kazi si kazi ile umeandikwa na serikali ama umeandikwa na employer wengine. Hata ukiwa unafanya biashara, hiyo ni kazi. Na ni mzuri kama ungeweza kuwekeza pesa ya pensheni. Na pesa ya pensheni si ile kama ile una save kwa cooperative ama sako yako. Ya pensheni itakusaidia na kukumudu wakati retire. Retire ni ile miaka ya 60 na kwenda mbele.
The current worrying statistics from the pension regulator RBA